So in this video, let's try to the same light control turning on and off with directly using ROS RCLCPP service. But why are we going to use RCLCPP service? Can't we just use ros-gz-bridge? Why? You should be asking this question. So before we see this, we are going to send it from the same terminal, and now this time it is service. And this is standard trigger service, and we are going to send it to this plugin. It's everything is same. But the question is, why are we not using ros-bridge? So if you remember, I told you in that video as well, when we are discussing about ros-gz-bridge, that there is a limited topics and service those are available to make it ROS and Gazebo suitable both sides, right? So if you check this limited topic, we won't find anything useful for our use case. So these are messages, and then this is just services. So on service there is just one message. So how are we going to use that up? So it is not going to use, right? So that's why we're directly using RCLCPP service to make it right. Okay, so this is one of the use case where you have to write direct ROS onto your Gazebo Sim plugin. So if we go down, everything of threading logic is same. If you remember, we discussed this same logic when we were discussing this move model direct ROS plugin. So on this we discussed this threading logic of this, how threading logic works, how we create this. So everything is same over here, nothing different in that logic, because that threading logic you always need when you are using ROS2 in Gazebo Sim, right? So because of that, we are still going to need that up. So the same logic threading thing I'm doing over here. We create the node, we create the executor, single thread executor. You can create multi-thread executor as well. Then we put it into this ROS thread spin, and then we create CPP thread using standard threads, and we put our ROS thread spin into it, and a new thread get created. Everything is same. The main thing is just we are creating a service call of ROS create service. Then this is the service name, then this is service. What is the service name? This is the message type of the service, and this is the callback function. On here we have defined the callback function because this is just a trigger callback. We do not need to have any request, because on every trigger we are just going to turn on and off light. So that's why I've made a star. No need to have anything. We are just controlling these two parameters that we discussed last time. And now on response we are sending that light is on or light is off as a string message. So this is what standard thing is. This is the same thing that we just discussed last time. Only thing is now we are doing with ROS service. Okay, so now let's directly see the plugin code. So here is the .sdf file. If you see on the plugin, I've added this on of ROS service name, just one extra for the service name. Okay, so service name is coming from here. Then .h file, I've added the service name again over here, and then we are having ROS node, and this is ROS server shared pointer to RCL service, and this is the message type of it, single threaded same, and this is standard thread. Everything is same. Some h include files are here, some are here. It's fine, you can put it anywhere as you wish. Now on configure, we are just checking for that on of ROS service name, and then after that we are initializing this two parameters. Then we are checking this ROS. Everything is same. The threading logic is same. Everything over here is same. The end we create the service call, and then we create ROS trigger service, and then this callback has two input parameters, right? One is request and other is response. So this is request and the other is response. Because of that we have this two standard placeholders over here, and this is there so that we can access this ROS trigger service callback. Okay, so this is normal, nothing special, the same thing, because we do not need anything from the request. On every request we are going to make it light on and off, as I just told you. And response we are sending this message. So this is done. Then find entity logic of the light control plugin that we discussed one video back. Everything is same over here, and I'm not using the jitter over here. If you want to do it, you can do it as you wish. So now just launch the ROS to launch light control. We are using direct ROS. So I haven't increased the size of this light over here. You can do that as well, just going on to this and then increasing the lights as you wish, inner and outer circles. Now the main thing is, let's check for ROS2 service list -t to get all the messages information. Now this is the service message. This is there. what we are looking for, we are looking for this service callback, and it's there. So let's do ros2 service call light standard, and we just need to do this because this is an empty service callback. It's just using for trigger. So now the light turned off and we got this response. The ROS toggle light is off, false. It's the same thing. Everything is same. If you're seeing everything, every other thing on this is very same. Nothing we are doing special about on here. Everything related to that is same. The only thing that we are doing over here is using ROS. Nothing else we have added on. So this is what happening. If you see the pattern, every time we write a ROS, we write a Gazebo Sim plugin, then we add some way of communicating either with Gazebo or with ROS. Okay, then there are different ways, varieties over there that we already discussed all of them in detail. So this is how your plugin is ready. Now we again do the service call, light is on, and you can play with this. It turns on and off. That's the logic working. And always remember the display thing. I will see if I can do something around it to make it more robust, so that even if your display ID of your host changes, it automatically get reflected in the container itself. Okay, so remember this. If you face this problem, you have to export this to 0. Whatever there in the host, you have to expect that, because it's there in the host as 0. We are exporting it over here as well. Okay, and it should work fine. Okay, then see you in the next video.